The decision to appoint the Iranian regime as the head of the UN Human Rights Council's Social Forum has outraged Iranians across the world. The fact that a regime that has one of worst human rights records in the world would direct any human rights assembly, let alone one associated with the United Nations, is despicable, and the Iranian people and their resistance movement are making sure that the irony and disgrace of this decision is made known. Members of Resistance Units, a network of activists inside Iran supporting the People's Mojahedin Organization of Iran, PMOI MEK, voiced their protest to the appointment of Iran's regime at the head of UNHRC Social Forum. In Tehran, the resistance units held placards with messages of protest. Have some shame in face of the 1,500 martyrs of November 2019 protests and 750 martyrs of the 2022 uprising, one of the placards read, referring to the brutal killing of protesters in recent uprisings. Shame on those who forced Khamenei's representative as the chair of the UNHRC Social Forum, and shame on those who accepted it, another placard read. A member of the resistance unit said, the appointment of the ambassador of Iran's regime as the chair of the Social Forum of the UNHRC is a stain on the history of the UN and human rights. Another member of the resistance units addressed UN authorities and said, shame on you for appointing criminals and executioners as the chair of the UNHRC Social Forum. Some have justified this disgraceful appointment as a rotational regional shift based on the United Nations procedures. But the people of Iran have made it clear that this is a shameful justification for a disgraceful decision, one that will only give the regime the green light to further instigate more human rights abuses. This regime should not enjoy the privileges of the UN while it does not answer to any of the United Nations procedures and modus operandi. MEK Resistance Units also honored October 29th, which marks Cyrus the Great Day. This day is an unofficial Iranian holiday to commemorate Cyrus the Great, the founder of the ancient Achaemenid Persian Empire and founder of the first human rights charter in the world. Honoring Cyrus and Dr. Mohammad Mossadegh, a national hero for Iranians, for nationalizing Iranian oil in the 1960s, resistance units wrote in their placards, Cyrus, Mossadegh, we will fight and take back Iran from mullahs. They also wrote, we are descendants of Cyrus, we are resistance units. Down with the oppressor, be it the Shah or Ali Khamenei. November 15th will mark the 4th anniversary of the November 2019 nationwide uprising in Iran. The regime only managed to avoid its total collapse through the brutal massacre of more than 1,500 unarmed protesters with the help of the Revolutionary Guards, IRGC, the Basij, and the State Security Forces, SSF. In their latest activities, the resistance units commemorated the November 2019 uprisings and spread messages of Iranian resistance leader Masoud Rajavi and NCRI President-elect Maryam Rajavi. They also reiterated their resolve to continue the struggle to overthrow the mullahs regime and establish a secular and democratic republic. In Tehran, resistance units installed posters with images of Maryam Rajavi and the message, the blood of more than 1,500 martyrs in the November uprising heralds the spring of the Iran's democratic revolution. A group of resistance units chanted, "Death to Khamenei, hail to Rajavi, death to the oppressor, be it the Shah or the mullahs." Resistance units held posters of Masoud Rajavi with the message, "The perpetrators of crimes against the people of Iran must face justice," and a poster of Maryam Rajavi with the message, The Great Uprising of 2019 pushed the regime to the ledge of being overthrown. They also installed posters of Maryam Rajavi with the message, "Iran's freedom movement will not return to the winter of Shah or mullahs." Resistance Units members also held placards with the message, "The voice of freedom will not be shut down." Resistance Units installed posters in public places with messages of Iranian resistance leaders, including a poster of Maryam Rajavi with the message, "Iranian women are the unending nightmare of Khamenei." The resistance units also reiterated their support for a free and democratic republic with the slogans, "My choice is Maryam Rajavi," and "Death to the oppressor, be it the Shah or the mullahs." These activities are taking place despite growing repressive measures by the regime, especially against the supporters of the PMOI. Resistance units have shown that they are the only force that can defy the regime's suppression, spreading the message of freedom and hope throughout the nation. They're a beacon of inspiration, rallying a new generation to fight for a free Iran. Composed of many young motivated freedom fighters, resistance units have proved that this path can lead to overthrowing the regime and establishing a free and democratic Republic of Iran.